All right, okay, this is week 6. Okay, the first sessions basically for you guys, group 3. Okay, so I'm going to call names there first. Okay, as usual, even though I already sent basically a list for some of your friends. Okay, which is we had to do that. Okay, because of not quite have that kind of participations then. Okay, those are the regulations that we have, and hopefully, all right, the rest of you guys don't actually try to create any issues anymore there. Okay, focus more on your assignments there right now. All right, okay, so I don't like that kind of very small things, okay, going on, okay, that will make that you will jeopardize basically your situations to focus more, move on into your assignments. I always thought, okay, instead of teaching you guys, I always give some of the motivations kind of speech. All right, nowadays there. All right, so we're going to take a look basically back again to the submissions, okay, according to our third assignments. And maybe you're going to take a look also about for your second assignment submissions there, because I believe that maybe like some of you guys still delaying some of the submissions like group 2. Okay, there's a few people actually have late submit there, and at the same times I also worried. Okay, worried there. Okay, when that means I've been cared there. Okay, because the submissions that you guys have submit were not into that kind of the right kind of amount of quality that we actually try to work in terms of make you guys pass the subject there, okay? Pass the subject there, okay? At least you get C plus there, okay? For those who actually have a weakness, okay, on the submissions there. What happened there, Boshan? You make a face there. Don't worry, right? If you actually submit in the right way, you won't be able to get C there, okay? Most of students who actually get C, they just submit the works completely, but the quality of work, the level of works were basically is very, in the very par, kind of what we call that phase there, okay? So that means either they actually work hard, but they try to work hard, but they cannot actually receive more kind of skills, okay, in terms of develop their own skills there. It takes time, like it takes time, okay? But don't let this kind of evaluations or level of understanding or level of submissions or skill that you have will close the door in order to develop your skill in illustration or illustrate kind of what we call that methods there. Because in illustrations or design, we need to take small leap in order to develop our skills. It's just like, as I told you guys, it's just like playing a physical kind of sports there, right? Okay. If you train yourself to become a badminton player, the basketball player, for example, there, okay, you have to train yourself more harder there, okay. And of course, the thing that I always go through with a student is, if you're not actually right, consult with me in terms of your submissions. Those are basically the thing that I always felt that if the student's doing quite good, yeah, it's okay, okay. But if you don't actually write, consult with me. Sometimes I cannot actually write, give some suggestions if people doesn't want to change there. Okay, those are the things there, right? All right, Catherine is here, Catherine. Wenfeng?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Ming Kai?
Yes.
All right, Huixuan?
Yes.
Desmond? Suk Yi? Liang Yi?
Yes.
Wen Han?
Yes.
Mun Hei? Hui Jian?
Yes.
Marisa is here? right? There. Okay. Matthew,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Kachun.
Yes, sir.
All right, Rachel,
Yes.
Bo Xuan is here. Oi Tung,
Yes.
Wing Jin,
Yes.
and Xu Ying.
Yes, sir.
Right, I believe Mun Hei and Zua basically have deferred there, okay? I believe they're okay, but I actually sent
Yes.
the values from there, they're right. So you is here, or Desmond and Catherine. Look like you guys have 17 there, right? Or around 16. Or 16 or 15 there, right? All right. So, right, Xu Yang is here. Rachel. All right, Marissa. Okay, now guys, okay, do you have any inquiries? Okay, I think Wengjun actually actively have sent over to me basically most of his progress. Okay, I just want to share with you guys. It's very good progress there. Okay. Okay, what basically Wengjun actually have sent it to me earlier there. Okay. This is his compositions there. Why basically, even though they're quite kind of detailing, okay, it show basically a quite detailing some of the compositions here, okay, in terms of backgrounds there. He worked so hard from there. And also the position of the characters, he actually have been improved a lot there, okay. But the thing is, okay, we want to talk about compositions a little bit, okay. I don't know whether you guys have been learning about this composition before in previous kind of subjects, other subjects than my subjects there, okay. So if you take a look at the focal point of these characters there, okay, we can actually read the flows of those informations that we have here there, okay, informations, and also the what we call that the flows of reading those design. Okay, when you look and watch and study about design there, okay, hopefully you guys can get it right, okay, later on. We need to understand how to study the flows of reading those design. Okay, you understand what I mean, is it? Reading the flows there, okay, where we're going to put our eyes there, okay. For example, when you look at some of the design outside there, which is your focal point, your main point that you want to see first, okay, from far. Okay, one of the best way to read design, whether design is workable or not, okay, when you look at the distance there, you can see where you're going to focus. From my kind of point of view, I will look into this side first, and then I'm going to follow through to this side. Even though this is the foreground, okay, the foreground, we have three different kind of side, okay, foreground, middle ground, and background there, right? I already give you guys also the examples last semesters there to read about the compositions there, either in landscape, photographies, illustrations, even though in design. They have these three basic composition that you have to understand when you actually want to arrange your works, arrange your elements there, the subject there, the cast there, okay, the main kind of cast there, okay, to show people's lah. You cannot just put everything over there like collage sometimes, but there is no focal point there. Okay, remember that, right? When you design. Liang Yi, are you understand about it? Are you sure? Okay, when you start to work with your compositions or when you arrange your elements, okay, for example, in that particular stories, we have two different characters, right? But Wengjun basically used another character, sub-characters, just to give a little bit kind of attractions there, okay? My kind of word is attraction, okay? But there's a few kind of design kind of term that we can use also, okay? For example, like sub-characters, okay? Sub-characters basically, okay? For for other kind of what we call that phrase there, okay, to explain about the elements there, okay. So the main character for the story is two characters there, rabbit and also the tortoise. All right. About the design, yes, okay, I agree. When he actually have go through with a lot of what we call that process, even though the process can be improved a lot normally there, okay, but for this stage, we just let it flow there. My kind of what we call that, but don't take it as a part of, it can be a part of practice, but depending on the situations, depending also on your, what we call that, importance kind of role in your works, right? And your, what we call that, okay, I want to find the names there, okay. Depending on our objective, the purpose basically of our project there, okay, and how much time that we can get from there, okay. So don't take it as a part of the, going to be a part of your practical kind of way of workings all the times there, because sometimes bigger kind of projects, for example, okay, we need more time to develop more characters. There are more kind of design, okay, until we get it right. Sometimes the first design that we create, then we go through with a few number kind of design, sometimes 10, 100 kind of different design based on the same characters. And we find out, okay, from all those kind of hundreds, we go back into the first one. It can be there, okay, possibility that we can get. But all these kind of things will happen with the discussions with the groups. Okay, with few number kind of people, not all the groups there, okay. That means you have 5 or 3 decision makers there, and one of them will make the final kind of decision for the project there, right? So that's basically the teamwork kind of efforts there. But if you work individually, okay, sometimes I'm also, I think most of the work that I've done for my own creations or for my own kind of personal kind of funding kind of project there, okay, I kind of work and make a decision on my own, but I try to pretend that I have 2 or 3 different people with me there, okay, if I cannot get any kind of what we call that some sort of like opinion there, okay. Okay, the best way basically, you guys can actually just promote your characters on the social medias. If you're afraid that people will take your design and plug out your design or steal your design, okay, you guys can register that character first before you submit to your social media with a local kind of what we call that commissioner of oaths, okay, to register or stamp your design there, okay. But if you think, yeah, this is only my student works there, okay, and I have a few kind of evidence with me, that's why I always told you guys there, okay, remind you guys, sketches is a part of our evidence there, to make sure that whatever that we do, when people want to steal our design, we have the proof, okay. This is a part of the proof that, okay, this is basically a part of the evidence, which is that you have to keep and put into your process in either in social media, okay, in one folders, okay, to give people basically what we call that, some sort of like earlier kind of what we call that awareness there. This is my design originally, but the best way, put the names, put the dates where you actually work with this design, with this kind of design, put names or sign in the names and put the dates there, okay. That's basically one of the normal kind of way you guys can actually protect your works in the early stage, okay, in the early stage there, okay. So from there, I asked Wang Jun, okay, why don't you actually change a little bit on the positions there, arrangement of your compositions, to see in different angles, because that angle that he tried to produce just now, it quite basically, the flows basically, there has a flow of reading, but there's a little bit kind of loose in terms of portraying the characters there. You understand what I mean there? There's a lot of space over here, okay, that if you actually want to put the put some titles right here in the features for your cover, for example, okay? You can actually leave the space here. But if the space doesn't use, you're not using this space correctly there, okay? To emphasize more on your characters. That's what make the compositions a little bit kind of loose there, okay? Okay, guys, give me a few minutes, okay? I have to take care of something there, okay? All right, okay, let's continue there, right? So that's why, okay, when Yun presented this kind of ideas, okay, the first thing that I actually going to take a look is the compositions there, right? Compositions, the arrangements, the layout there, okay? Even though it's a very good detailing, okay, he actually can submit this kind of work also, but you have to make sure that you know basically the weakness of your design. Some detailing is good, but it doesn't mean they're going to be in the right kind of manner there, okay? In terms of positioning the characters there. Positioning characters there, okay? So those are the things that we have to be aware, okay? Because the level of details is good. The level of details is quite great there, okay? But in terms of the storytelling and also the aesthetical value, which is going to portray the balance between the characters, it kind of a bit loose, okay? And also, if I were him, if I want to maintain, or I know that he's going to submit at least 2, okay, of the final submissions there. Okay, these characters, this bird, I'm going to put over here. Why? They will give more balance there. So people will read from this 1, 2, and 3 balance, okay? Maybe. Or if I want to make a little bit more solid with the compositions, not making too loose, because these areas is what is it, okay? What you want to put over here, right? If you want to leave some sort of like a space, people might going to be figure out why actually they want to put the space there, okay? In terms of design, layman, maybe our parents, for example, okay, who doesn't learn about design, they don't care. But because we are actually in the education's kind of scenarios here, education, right? Okay, learn about educations there, academician kind of scenario that we have here. As a designers, we have to make a full use of the space there. When you talk about minimalist, different. Minimalist there, okay? Okay, I'm going to show you guys one of my compositions, which is I'm going to use a minimal kind of layout there. Okay? I think I already showed you guys before, right? I already showed you guys before there. So learn also, guys, okay? Don't just learn about tools only there, okay? Learning about the tools is quite very normal there, okay? You guys can use Photoshop there, okay? I don't actually worry about using Photoshop or whatever tools or whatever kind of materials that you guys have. But the thing is, right now we want to learn more into deep of the aesthetical value, and when they come later on, you want to design your own kind of animation, any kind of animations or any kind of illustration or design. Okay, you don't have that kind of worry anymore. You know basically what I think you can make and not make, okay, in order to develop your kind of understanding from here. Okay, like this one. We're talking about minimalist kind of compositions, minimal kind of compositions there, but it shows basically the what we call that, the reactions, the scenarios, the emotions, all right, on the characters there. And the whole layout basically is quite minimal because I want to focus only on that particular scene. But it doesn't mean that, for example, that it doesn't mean that you're actually floating there. Oh, sorry, okay, I didn't actually put those. Wait up, guys. Because the new features here on our tablets, they have basically a very sensitive kind of touch, right? Because every time when I actually working there, okay, without using the tablets, they always have the automatically kind of touch on the screen there, on the surface there. See, like this one there, right? So this kind of features basically sometimes make me feel a bit kind of matching my kind of what we call the explanations there. Read up there, right? Okay, this is basically another kind of composition that I create, okay, from this particular kind of scene, right? Okay, if I want to make a little bit kind of more solid, okay, on the presentations there, okay, for example, like this one there, right? I'm going to brush these illustrations that I did. I'm using an old version of Photoshop there. They have that kind of, remember what I said before? They have called that, the brush name called the all media wet flow, rough round bristle brush there, right? So let's just say I'm going to paint it up like that. Oops. Okay, I want to show basically that has a ground there, okay, but a very little bit more loose there. Can be. I'm using a texture brushes there, okay, because I want to make the whole composition a bit more rough, like traditional methods there, okay. And they have a very sense of like detailing, even though we didn't put a lot of detail from there. That's basically the beauty of the brushes that I use there, okay, that I actually love very much there. I love very much there, okay, exploring this kind of brushes there, because they give more kind of solid, and also sometimes they show, sometimes for some people they're a little bit kind of complex, for other people, okay, they see how actually they use this brush there, okay. It looks a bit more rough, more traditional, okay. That kind of feelings, okay, when people look at your design, especially when I go to the clients, okay, if the client is very smart enough, right, they have this kind of inquiries there. And if your clients basically is really have very experienced on the design there, okay, for example, they know basically what they want, and they see a lot from other international kind of works there, right, then they wanted that kind of feeling also and originality on your works there. So this kind of brushes basically will help there, but in the right way. If you take a look at the whole composition, I'm going to make a very loose there, okay. I didn't actually add a little bit kind of like a branch, or more like a thick kind of branch, or full kind of what we call that tree kind of elements from here there, okay. Log of tree there, to make the whole composition quite logic there. We're talking about design illustrations, okay. The logic will become a little bit more less in terms of the compositions there. In terms of the compositions there. If you talk about some people, okay, some of the compositions in maybe the earliest of normal. We're talking about Malaysian, normal, okay? Not international, because people actually write internationally like westernized, okay, or Asian like Japanese, okay. They actually is more advanced than us in terms of knowledge of design. Even though in terms of the layman, because they love to read a lot and they actually open up their mind more differently there, okay. Even though it's certain kind of people in the a little bit kind of more kind of down kind of areas, they kind of very a little bit kind of outdated, okay. But we're talking about Malaysians. When we actually do these kind of things, even though in my times, okay, not around 70s or 80s, okay, but in my time when I actually start to design or start to work with my kind of illustration styles there, okay, people always have this kind of skeptical kind of understanding there. Hey, why you actually draw this tree branch doesn't have any complete kind of, they have this kind of inquiries there, okay, that they don't actually take basically about the way basically want to follow, they portray this kind of composition, because we want to focus on these situations there. The sub elements that we try to draw is not important. It's not that kind of importance there, right? Okay? For the whole compositions there. But sometimes these certain kind of people, they always say, oh, you very lazy there, okay, you don't want to draw the background there, okay. All this kind of negative, skeptical kind of minded there, because they don't study design there, right? But my kind of jobs back in the day, I have to give a little bit kind of samples and reference. Okay, that's why research is really important there, right? Because people always people don't want to understand about our ideas. They doesn't want to hear about our explanations, or they don't believe us, because why? You're a Malaysian, you're a local there, right? Okay, you seem like me. What do you know there, okay, about design, okay? That kind of skeptical kind of, what we call that, understanding there. Okay, for me, it's a bit kind of like discriminations there, right? Okay? Because some people always thought you can talk anything if people know that you actually have go abroad there, okay. You study abroad, for example, there, okay, and you actually have going a lot of abroad places before, you have a lot of experience there, you're working from there, and then whatever that you bring, when you come back into your local kind of area, right, people will hear you anything, because this guy study overseas, okay, they start working overseas, okay. Maybe around 70s, 80s, yes. After beginning in 90s, okay, until 2000, okay, all informations you can get from the internet. All right, even though you don't go overseas, what we call that frequently there, okay, what we call that oftenly there, okay, but you can get all this kind of design informations nowadays from the internet there, right? You can study them back, what other people, there has a lot of communities there. My kind of communities that I have studied there, okay, back in the days when I actually do some research a lot for the company there, okay, is from the design communities there, design communities. From Flickrs, Mojizu at the time there, okay, blogs there maybe, and a lot of things from Google, so, okay. Google is one of my research, okay. I type anything that I want, okay. And there's a few number kind of art communities also we can learn from there. That's basically make ourselves a bit more advanced from anyone else there. Nowadays, you name it, okay, Behance, Instagram, there's a lot of artists over there, okay, even the Facebooks, all right. You can study, you can actually see, okay, and a lot of, I believe that like Chinese communities that I actually searched a few times there, okay, they have this kind of also a lot of samples of works, body of work that you can study back again from other kind of countries there. They can actually have a revision, also discussion over there, okay? That's basically what we do. So this is basically what actually I want to emphasize, okay? In terms of compositions, in terms of understanding on layout, okay, it doesn't have to be a lot of details there, but focal point there, okay? Even though I can add a little bit more details if you want to, but it's good for the time being here, okay? But in terms of using the scenarios that you choose, okay, the impression that you choose, okay, in order to develop the stories here, will give you guys more advantage in order to present your works. Okay, that's other things there. So, okay, when you go back into here, okay, when I look at these second compositions, I would say, all right, this one a little bit more better than the first one. Why? Because they emphasize focus more on the main characters. And then he can actually develop a bit kind of detailing later on. Okay, maybe there's can put more trees over here. There may be okay, or 5 different kind of tree. Okay, and then you can do some of the foreground step back again, right on the background. Okay, to add a bit kind of detail if he wants to. Okay, but what you look at from here, okay, they have 2 different kind of compositions, 2 different kind of arrangement. Okay, the foregrounds, the middle grounds, and the background there, right? So this is the first attempt of the reading kind of flows there. I'm going to look at this one, look at him, the second character, sub characters there, right? And the backgrounds later on if you want to add some other details there. This is one of the good kind of compositions. It's not that kind of we play a lot of perspective there all the time, right? Okay, but they give the right kind of clear ideas on the story itself. Okay, simple there. They work simples, but they add more values from there, and you can focus more on the detailing later on. Okay, that's basically the advantage of this kind of composition. So for the rest of you guys, also the same, right? Make sure you have done a few kind of reference research that first in terms of sketching your ideas from there. As long as you have made it or improve your characters there. Marisa, you look so sleepy today, right? Okay, everything okay, right? Okay, now let me check, right? Before that, guys, okay, I want to check. Okay, I think Jessin also have given me some other few examples there, okay, from group 1. She's also okay. I just want to give you guys an example. There are a lot of examples because hopefully you guys can actually had more kind of ideas from here, because Jessin actually, right, if you seen before, right, okay, when she actually did a few kind of quite number kind of sketches, okay, I really excited to see this kind of commitment there, okay. So when I actually give her a little bit kind of comment on her works, okay, about the whole arrangements of those design, okay, this is maybe the first design that she actually create, okay, almost finished, almost complete, okay. And you guys know basically, okay, it's not actually double standard, huh? But we know, and you guys know how much that she can get also from the whole kind of assignments there. So hopefully can give you guys a bit kind of inspirations, not from me, from your friends, okay, to see their commitment on the works there. I really felt, okay, if for example, guys, let's just say that, okay, it's not kind of like I want to give you guys some analogy there, but let's just say this morning, maybe I wake up and then I felt a bit kind of terrible to myself that, okay, maybe there, okay, I might maybe feel a bit kind of down at the mood there, okay, not feel very better, okay. Everyone human have this kind of situations there, right? But as me as an educator there, okay, when I look at all this kind of stuff there, okay, from the students there, the kind of commitment that you guys gave, suddenly, right, okay, my kind of mood at that time, at these times, will give me kind of energy there, okay, to push more for this for that day there, okay, because You guys also be inspired me again. Those are the things there. Don't actually thought that, okay, oh, we are not good, we just learn it, okay. Hey, you guys will inspire the lecturers there, people who teach you, okay, to push more, a bit more further on that area, okay. You give that kind of very chemistry kind of connections there, a very good energy there, okay. You know, right, a good energy there, right? Those are the things. Just like Wayne Yun kind of work also, right? When I look at him, he actually have that kind of positive kind of vibe there, right? Okay. They give that kind of energy there. Look at Marissa there, okay. I'm worried there, okay. She's feeling sleepy there, okay. Right, guys? Right, guys, okay. Okay. So that kind of energy that I want from you, okay. So when I actually give a bit kind of constructive comment on your works right here. So she suddenly, okay, challenged herself to develop more, okay, on her kind of what we call that skills there, because we know that basically I know that you guys can push more from here. All the technical kind of understanding, okay, he pushed more, a bit more like a from semi-cartoon manga style character, for example, there, okay, a bit more like a Sailor Moon kind of design there, okay, into chibi kawaii characters there, from the same title, from the same characters. She tried to experiment them, right? And then she designed a bit more further, okay, on the compositions there to focus more on the characters there, because I told her also, okay, focus on the main characters and all the sub characters that you actually have designed, like the tigers there, the Rafflesia, kind of what we call that, flowers there, okay, maybe tape there, okay, they become a sub characters there for your compositions there. So that's basically one of the way basically you guys can develop your kind of what we call that skill at the same time and ideas there. See, when you actually doesn't actually commit into one design or one style or one sketch or one particular kind of submission there, you push him a little bit more further. Normally, you can get a very kind of surprising kind of result on your own there. So we can see that she has developed a bit more kind of understanding on portraying the compositions, that even though maybe she has a reference, I believe, but she pushed a little bit more there, okay, where did I can bring over to these characters from the first until now. So we can see a lot of different kind of approach there, changes there. Okay, this is a rough sketch. I can see the proportion also doesn't look right here, right? So that's basically the beauty of it, guys. All right, the beauty of it, guys. And we can see all this kind of different kind of understanding there. Even though she has a few references that she used to work on that, and I think she's beginning to like this kind of chibi style for the particular characters, maybe, right? So hopefully she can actually manage to work on that. Still get time, a lot of time there, okay? More than 1 week there, okay, to work on that. So this is basically one of the great kind of progressions that we want to see from you guys. But don't feel down about other people's work there, guys. I'm also okay. For me, when I look at a lot of my friends at the social medias, basically they can do better than mine. I'm not feeling bad about it. What I do, I always find my own options there to survive. That's basically what we should do. Okay. People can draw this. Yes, maybe you kind of like doesn't have that kind of vibe to follow that kind of style. That, hey, find other styles that works. The one that actually fit you there. Okay. If you're not willing to sacrifice a lot of energy or time to design manga, because design manga, kawaii, or design a few number kind of characters like that, you need to sacrifice your energy and time to learn about the basic structures. Okay, learn about the basic structures there. If you don't have that kind of energy, seek for something that quite suitable for you to work. But you have to love that kind of works. Because when you want to develop your skill in design, you must be able to sacrifice your time to understand about the structure at first, not detailing that yet. Okay, not detailing that. Learn to develop your hands to design, to draw, to get the structures in the right way. Okay, that's basically the tips, but a lot of people take for granted from there. Okay, before basically I'm going to ask one by one, who actually didn't submit yet the progressions from group 3? Week 5 to week 9, week 6 kind of progressions there. So Catherine have submit. Catherine is not here. Okay, let me check. Okay, last week Catherine is here. Right, guys, at this stage, if you have any kind of situations, please let me know, right, in advance there, okay? Because sometimes after week 6 till week 7, or if you have a long sem there, okay, week 10 until week 14, students start missing in actions there. Please don't do that, okay? Don't jeopardize your time there. So let me check there, okay? Like Catherine, okay, quite number kind of research there, Catherine. You good? Okay. But make sure all these kind of compositions came from a reference and samples there. But most of the sketches doesn't quite have a clear kind of situations, or doesn't have enough kind of impression on the story there, okay? So that means, right, sketch, right, portrait or portrait, dog with the bone. Simple as that. And try to focus on the storytelling from the visuals there, on the visuals. Okay, because the story about the dog and the shadows, right, is all about greediness there, okay? Not gluttony there, okay? Greediness there, okay? Greediness there, okay? So that means I'm using a very simple kind of understanding from there. So there's a lot of reference that I actually write. So if you cannot actually draw well, as I mentioned before, you guys can use. If you don't want to draw that kind of particular dogs in the more character design kind of way, you guys can actually use some of the samples right here. Right? Some of the samples here. Then improvise them back. Okay? Improvise, but they have to show a storytelling. Okay? One of the best photos that I use previously is this one, this dog, right? Okay, this dog, but I improvise. Okay, improvise from there. Okay, I improvise from there, right? So one of the way that I actually try to experiment, okay, with the visual based on the stories is by using for example, because the stories about the dog and the bone there, okay? This is some of the sample of illustration that we actually saw. If you cannot visualize like this, as I told you guys before, okay, for those who cannot draw well, find the right kind of photos there, but don't trace or copy from the illustrations there. You can draw back again from the pictures there, okay, but you have to be more, you need to have more precise kind of positions there. It's quite hard unless you have a dog or puppy with you at home. Give it a bone, give them a bone there, okay, and then shoot the photos back again and redraw. It can be done, right? Okay? If you have the puppy, right, okay, at your house, give them a bone, see how actually their reaction, and shoot photos a few number kind of angles there that can represent the dog. Basically try to look at something actually added down there, okay, in your own composition. It can be. I think dog a little bit more easy to control than the cat, right? Because I have cat there, okay, 3 of them, but outside there, right, it's quite hard to control them. I think dog is a bit more easy there. Okay? I have one of the dog there, okay, that I not actually using as my pet, okay. I'm not actually taking it as a pet, okay, but there's one of the dog, basically one of the puppy, basically, okay, a bit more bigger there, okay. I think it's a stray kind of a bit. I think someone actually have released him from the owner there, okay. He always mingling around at one of our place restaurant. Okay, I give him sometimes fried chicken or whatever things that I can actually give him. Okay, but he's quite very, I think very nice there, okay. Right. I always thought that this kind of animals like a kids there, okay, waiting for us to give them what you call that, some things to eat there, right? Okay, he's waiting there all the time there, but he doesn't actually what we call that, distract people or chase people there, okay. Quite nice kind of dog, okay. If I can actually take it as a pet, I will, okay, but I can't there right now. But it's quite nice, okay, that kind of dogs there. If you have your own puppy, you can use them as a reference. Give them something like a bone there. Shoot photos a few number kind of angles there. Okay, and then you use them back again and redraw them. Simple as that, okay. But you have to. That's why this is a part of the creative process. Learn about it, okay. The creative process doesn't mean that, oh, this guy can draw, he's very creative. No, okay. How you actually use your advantage that you have, the situation that you have, give you guys some ideas there to use them to develop your kind of visuals back again. I'm sorry, I have to switch on my camera. It's quite hot here. All right, so that's basically how it works with the visuals there. But there's a lot of way in time that you will learn, okay, on yourself there, okay, to develop that kind of understanding. So for me, okay, it's a simple there, okay. You don't know how to draw dogs, or it's hard for you to draw the dog there, okay. What you can do, find the right kind of reference and right kind of dog also to give you guys a bit kind of advantage, develop your kind of understanding there. Okay. So for me, okay, some of the reference over here is quite nice there, okay, that can be used. Even though, let's just say that, okay, let's just say this one. This one there, right? Okay. And there's a few number kind of reference also quite nice there. Okay, let's just say this one. I want to manipulate this one. We have to work smart. That's why I said we have to work smart there, right? So let me use him as a part of my reference over here. Okay, what I can do from here using the advantages that we have. Okay, our compositions A4 size, they're right. Okay, the format are going to be A4 size. They're going to be landscape format, they're right. Landscapes, 150 dpi. Okay, now so one of the reasons I don't want to push you guys to work with the sketches on a lot of not about sketches, right? Sketches is not only drawings only there, okay? This is all part of my sketches there, but I'm using a little bit more like a digital kind of way to portray those sketches there, okay? Okay, let's just say this one. Simple composition that we have there, guys. What I can do from here, I'm going to duplicate that first. It is the master file, okay? So I'm going to copy this one because I'm not going to use them as a part of my image manipulations there, but I'm using this one, copy and paste, put it right here. Okay, for examples. All right, what I can do from here, reduce the opacity first. Maybe I'm going to cut over here. Okay, so we right. Okay, so we cut over here, delete the right. Okay, the difference there. Oh, this one basically is a bone there. Okay, this is basically the face there. Okay, the face is there. What I can do, click over here. Okay, and delete. Right. We only use as a part of our guide. Like that, right? So we can also scale a bit down. But why actually put it a little bit kind of exaggerate like this? Because I want to make sure that, okay, I want to show, all right? Basically, in the stories, even though he has basically quite huge kind of bone there, right? Okay, but he still feel a bit kind of greedy there. So he want to have more kind of bigger kind of bone there. Okay, he doesn't actually feel a little bit kind of grateful about what he has, right? The stories here. So what I can do from here, okay, I merge the layers there first. Okay, but this one I'm not going to use there. Okay, that means I'm going to delete that first because I don't want to get some distractions there, right? But of course, the challenge is sometimes when people actually look at this one again, how actually you're going to cover this one? Creativity is there. So save the file there first, right? Wait, 6DML3 different sessions there. What I have here, okay, I'm going to start to design that, right? Okay. How big is this kind of characters there? A bit more bigger like this. This is the whole compositions. Okay, let's just say I want to sketch it out first. My kind of ideas here. Let's say, okay. Compositions there, okay. Simple kind of compositions about the dog and the bone. Okay, this one, right? Maybe the paw or something like that. Okay, so what you can have here, if you have a rough ideas, okay, this is basically a wood kind of log of tree. They become a bit kind of like a bridge, okay, for him to cross over there, okay, simple there, okay, that I do, okay, and then they're going to be reflections over here with the, okay, reflections of him, okay, and this guy, the eyes are going to be looked down over here, okay. Okay, You get the reference there, right? And there's the ground and the foreground directly. Maybe there is some bushes over here, 3 bushes there, and some of the tree there, right? Okay, to give a bit kind of scenarios there. Simple there, right? So this is a part of the practice that you guys can do on your own using reference and guide you guys to work on that. So how are you going to illustrate them? This is the reference that you have. Right. Save the file first. And sketch your ideas. So what I can do, I'm going to sketch it out. I'm going to seek for what I say. I'm going to seek for my own kind of way to interpret the visuals there. So that means I'm going to playing around with the visuals by using the paint style that I show you guys before there, okay? I'm sharing the screen, right? So I'm going to play with some of the brushes there, okay? So remember about these brushes that I actually use. Flat brushes there, right? Flat brushes there. I love these brushes because they give me a little bit kind of freedoms and doesn't actually care about a lot of son of details there. Okay? I'm going to use lasso tools right here to make his eye a bit more bigger there, okay? There. Okay. Same brushes, but I'm going to adjust basically the size of the brush. Okay, what I can do right here, I'm going to add highlights. Why I'm going to add some highlights right there to give the visuals, okay, the characters are going to be looking a bit more alive there, right? And remember, okay, a lot of people will attract it with their eyes there first, most of them, right? So this is basically, okay, you can add some folders if you want to, because this method, sometimes we need a lot of layers before we're going to combine them together, right? So what I can do, I'm going to add some folders there first, right? Eyes, like this, put it over there, right? So right now, what we can do, I'm going to add another layers over there. They're going to be the head. So what I can do right now, I'm going to design the dog character. Okay, maybe I'm going to design this part that fits the whole kind of compositions there. Maybe I'm going to redesign a little bit kind of structures over here. Okay, the basically right here the ear there right here. Okay, dogs there. The shape, the whole shape there first, because this one can be covered later on there. So what I can do right now, so I'm going to design them back. Okay, I'm not just follows them, not trace them only there. I redesign them back. Okay? Sorry. So the colors of the dog, the main characters there. I'm not going to use black or gray because it doesn't look quite interesting later on. So I'm going to use these colors there, right? Okay? Like brownish a little bit there, right? Okay. And paint, start to paint. See? So add a bit kind of different kind of values, okay? And what I can do right now, I can actually write using this part, okay? Using alternate there, right? And there. And then okay, the next thing is right. No, yeah. And I'm going to use a bit kind of purplish there. Yeah. Some reason, if you look back again, you have drawn one of the design for the dogs there, right? And the quality of those design and illustrations a bit kind of different from what you actually have been sketched out there, okay? So what I can do right now, I'm going to draw the bone there. Yeah, get the bones there. So one of the most important thing here right now to design the bones according to the shapes. At the same time, try to add the tone or value where shadows came from over here. This is going to be highlighted there, right? So the bone is what kind of colors there? You want to use yellows. Okay. Mixed up with orange a bit. Then you start to paint. That's a bit. There. If you look how actually I accommodate with this kind of design and everything, I not actually put a lot of attention on the details there, but it's just nice there, right? It's just nice there, okay? In order to work with the kind of what we call the styles that you want to portray. So okay, I'm going to add the kind of detailing here in that design, particular design here. Yeah. It's like we kind of playing a little bit there, okay, with the compositions, with arrangements, okay, with the arrangements there. See, but I have to add a bit kind of detailings over here because I don't want to make a bit kind of transparent a lot there. So what I can do, maybe I can actually write. We want to add some shadows line over here. The shadows align a bit kind of over here there, okay. I can use different kind of tone, like that. Okay, and adjust a bit like a purplish bit there, right? I'm just playing there, right? Okay, make it more reachable on those design. Okay, the next thing is what I can do, maybe the body itself there, right? Okay, like again the visuals, and the bodies are going to be put right here. Maybe I'm going to put a bit right to these characters here. Try to reach basically basically the bone there, right? From the reflections. Make sure that okay, you do some research a bit more on the pulse there, okay? You want to work on that. Otherwise, it look a bit more weird there. Okay, the pulse there, okay, on the dogs here. You take a look, okay, what are kind of pulse that you can use there to work. So even though I know basically how it works there, but I'm still going to make sure that I get the right kind of understanding from here. Bit like that, right? And even though the style for this visual a little bit kind of loose a little bit, but it doesn't mean that we don't actually take extra kind of precautions, right, on the visuals there, okay, first, okay. Use this kind of colors mixed up together there, right? Use this kind of colors there at the same time. Right now, basically, I'm just use only one brushes there, okay, playing around with it. Just not about laziness there, but we try to minimize the brush, but we see the results there first. This is about also experimentations or the visuals. The visuals there. So I can actually mix them later on with the line kind of brushes tools there, right? For example, I'm using this pencil heart because it has given me a bit kind of not too much of the details there. Okay, but I can actually write just the claw a little bit there, right? Okay, just design the claws on here. And I can also draw a little bit kind of detailings over here, right? Okay, for the nose there, but with my kind of like way of working there, right? And a bit kind of bone kind of line structures there a bit. Right, to give different kind of mixture kind of way of presenting the works, okay, the mixtures directly. And also use a bit kind of lines over here. Okay. A bit kind of detailings a bit over here, a bit there, if you want to. And mix them up there, right? Mix them up there, right? So the results from here, you can see the visuals of the dog. Try to grab the bone in very different kind of approach there, way there, okay? Using the photos, get the guideline for the sketches there to work on that. Okay. What's next? Okay, the background. Before that, maybe if I felt like I don't want to make a lot of arrangements anymore from the visuals, if I satisfied with it the best way, I just merge the layers there, right? Okay. And I can also duplicate. Okay, now I can actually write, copy there, right? Adjust a little bit, right? Because we have to make a bit kind of different because he thought basically this is the different kind of thought. He never thought basically it is his own reflections there, right? And what we can do from here, I'm going to flip horizontals there, see? Flip horizontals there. So we have both of them right here. Change back again the compositions there, right? This one put at the bottoms. So what I can do next, based on the sketches, I can actually write add the backgrounds here back again. So that means, okay, this is basically the tree lock. So I'm going to mix around the tree lock over here. For example, like that. Simple kind of tree lock, right? Okay. So what we can do from here, the tree lock there, right? What colors of the tree lock there? Brown, brownish, brush. So to mix around there. I kind of love these brushes directly because they give me a lot of freedoms. A lot of freedoms at the paint. See? I add the tree lock design. Adjust the size. You can get those results there. And of course the dog basically right here there, okay? Because it's looking a bit kind of transparent there, right? What I can do from here, the thing that I didn't do there, okay, at the first stage there, okay, is basically try to add new layers to cover the transparency there, right? So those basically some of the risks there, okay, from your explorations that you have to solve back again your own problems here. We basically, when we design new particular kind of things there, they always have the challenges that you must be able to see some of the things that I can add some of the details there. What I can do from here, I'm going to add another layers from here. Okay, the layers from there already. You're going to have, let's just say, backspace, okay, to cover basically that and the transparency on the top of the characters there first. Okay, and of course, right here, I can actually refine a bit on the things that have been come up from those visuals directly from the shapes there. I can show you, okay, if you actually have this kind of styles that can represent your own unique way in the future. So, okay, if you find different kind of styles, go ahead, okay. You will be more stand out from other people's thing. So that's why in searching of great kind of styles and design, water, okay, you have to be brave to change the way, okay. Water, okay. Normally the water reflections basically came from not water doesn't have any color there, right? Who say water have colors there? No colors, okay. The reflection between the skies and the environments that represent the colors of the water there, okay. I'm going to use a little bit kind of bright kind of green there, okay. And of course this kind of, okay, when I actually add new layers on top of the shadows there, okay, suddenly the whole thing become like reflections there, right? That's basically the beauty of it, guys. The spontaneous kind of results there, right? The spontaneous kind of result from the visuals. What I can do from here, these characters, the bone there, okay, the shadows there. I can do from here. And actually multiply, see? Multiply, it show basically the reflections there. I can actually write from here, I can add light colors over there, add some sort of light, different kind of reflections there. And we're using this kind of brush kind of effect to give more advantage on the presentations. Okay. If you take a look back again, the whole stories, the whole situations have given basically the whole ideas of the story there, right? That's basically the thing that people doesn't recognize there. Okay, right now I just want to add some shadows there. If I want to make some shadows over here, a little bit kind of advanced from this stage. And what I can do, do some selections on the shadows, but I actually select this tree log there, okay? Why? Because I want to delete basically this part there, okay, only. I'm going to inverse, Control, Shift I, delete this side there, right? See? I can get the shadows there. From here, I can actually reduce the opacities for the shadows. Okay? So from here, the background there, right? Sky, what color of the sky? Like maybe a little bit kind of not too bluish there, okay? But they have the mixture with this green colors there. Mixture there, right? So we can. I never actually use all these brushes, but I know basically the effect that can be surrounded. So why actually use these colors there, okay? Just to give a little bit kind of contrast on those designs. Okay, this part basically a bit weird there. What we can do to solve them, okay? What I want to do then, I'm going to add a little bit kind of the depth of the tree log there, right? So I don't have to draw basically the negative kind of space that show basically the body of those dogs there, right? So what I can do, I will put it right here, right? Use the same colors, but a bit more darker there. Okay. There. something like that. And I can add also some purple kind of values there, okay, to show the depth from there. But there's a lot of things that we can do also from here, guys, if you want to there, okay. So for example, there, okay, I can actually write duplicate, tree lock, right? I can multiply or overlay, or overlay is not good there, okay. Multiply, reduce the opacities there, just to give more impact on the visuals. Okay, more impact. We can add more and more details if I want to. For example, like okay, let's just say that there's a few bushes there, right? Okay, okay. Okay, and then the colors of those leaves a bit more like this color, okay, but not too much. So there, okay. For the clouds, let's say I want to draw this kind of clouds there, right? These kind of clouds and the backgrounds. There. Is it okay? About that, right? Doesn't look right. What I can do, I can actually adjust. If I don't want to paint, adjust there, okay? A bit more lighting there, okay? Lighter there, right? Can be. Or you can actually play with this kind of clouds if you want to. So minimal there, okay? Minimal there. But that clouds, if I use white, sometimes a bit kind of off. So this is basically a bit kind of like a very fictional kind of story. So the clouds I just simply design into blue color, even though the clouds basically is white there, right? But this is a very fictional kind of stories. So we mixed up the colors there using the license of design, okay? Using the principle of design and color theory at the same time. That show a bit kind of what we call that depth of fields there, the color combination between the warm and cool colors directly at the same times. Even though I can actually write in the foregrounds, we can add a little bit kind of details here, okay? To draw a bit kind of like this one. Just to give a bit kind of detailing there, okay? But the visual from here, from that foregrounds, they're going to be a bit kind of a different kind of tone there. Different kind of tone there. And you can add a little shadows over here. That's a level of detail that you guys can actually practice along the way. Right? How long does it take? Guys, I'm not trying to accuse anyone, okay? But how long is it? Okay, if you practice your craft, a few minutes, you can actually produce one single illustration there. Okay, so try to be more flexible on your kind of way to approach your design. Okay, from here basically I can actually add a bit kind of detail also there, okay, if I want to, right? Some of the detailing from the shadows line over here. So what I can do here there, okay, let's just say I'm going to add some shadows line over here like that. Okay, for example, like here, right? Just a little bit kind of highlight there. So what I can do, copy and paste. If I use soft light, can be difference there. And if I use screen, yeah, they're going to be different a bit, right? Okay? Screen kind of shapes there to show some of the shadows and highlights a bit of it there. But I also can actually improvise this part, not to make it more lighter there, okay? It can be. I can also use my erasers there to design the textures there, right? Can be. Erasers to design the textures there. It can be there, guys. Be creative there to develop your kind of approach on your works. All right, we're talking about that one there right now. Try to explain, or I try to adjust, or I'm trying to give you guys some alternative kind of way to produce your design. Alternative kind of way there to produce your design, other than just drawings that in illustrations. This one, copy paste, multiply, you can see the shadows there. See the difference? Still answer the question to the right, dog and the bone there. All right. So that's basically what you guys can explore. So I'm doing the same kind of compositions with the previous kind of things that I've done before, but different kind of dog characters and different kind of pose a little bit. So, but if you look closely, the whole presentations have a different kind of quality other than what you've seen from the internet. Right? It's just a normal kind of thing. I give you guys some alternative way for you guys to work. You take a look at illustrations, the Googles, when you find the dog and the shadows there. Try to seek for some of the reference research that's similar to what I've done. Nothing there. This is a conventional illustration style there, right? Okay. This is a cartoon style. But I'm providing you guys different kind of styles there. Okay, different kind of style that can be approached. Any questions? But this one basically, they're combining creativities, they're combining your abilities of using the tools. They challenge also your kind of perceptions there, okay? From the normal perceptions of working with kind of ideas into a more alternative kind of way there. But everything's need creativity. This is one of it. This is one of it there, right? It should work with it. Okay. I'm not saying that every single kind of, because I already showed you guys previously how to paint in a conventional way, right? But right now, I just want you guys to open up your mind to different kind of options in life that to work with it. Even though, okay, let's just say this kind of textures line, okay, let's just say that I want to make a bit kind of more difference, okay, because from these techniques, okay, what are the things that I try to cheat? I think most of you guys love to cheat there, right? Make more easy way to access some of the things there, right? What are the things that I try to cheat there? Right? I try to cheat on those details. Like Wayne Jun kind of compositions, he focused on the conventional. I'm not saying it's not right. I have done that kind of things before, and I find out, okay, for the beginners, maybe you can try them. No worries there, okay? But no one actually gave me different kind of approach in my times when I was learning like you guys do, okay? No one actually gives some other options there. They always give, okay, this is the right way, this is the right way only there, right? this is the one actually. Yes, of course, it's good. But how about the alternative kind of way there? For me, right, in life, you can actually go into that kind of access, find other options there. Simple. That can suit also the main objective there, right? So I always give this student this kind of alternative kind of way there, right? Okay? If I want to make my composition a bit kind of rough, have the classic kind of looks, I'm using a texture kind of papers right here, like this one, all right? Scale a little bit right here to add a bit kind of details, much, and then let's just say I multiply them. You see the difference here? The visuals start to be pop up in a more classic vintage kind of way. Because why? This story basically based on the classic kind of stories there, right? From Malaysian folklore to international folklore tales there, right? So what I do right now, I try to combine the visual kind of interpretations in a more vintage kind of way there, right? Okay? It might actually add a lot of details, but it show a lot of complex kind of arrangement there, but not try too hard enough to draw a lot of details there. So this one basically is how actually I try to work smart on myself. But it doesn't mean you find one solutions, another solutions, they're not going to be challenge you. That's what makes quite exciting there sometimes, okay? Because you will end up, right? It's quite excitement, right? Because you always try to find different kind of solutions, and you get a very good kind of ideas of results in terms of on working with a kind of style at the same time, right? So if I want to use erasers, okay, to reduce a little bit my kind of, right, my kind of attention on the value of details there, okay, using this one, right? Okay, see, I'm going to close a bit, then I'm going to paint, not paint, to erase some of the dark kind of value on these visuals, because I want to make it more focal point on these characters there. See the difference there, right? Just some part of it. The mixture there, okay, with the textures, brushes, line, a reference will give a big kind of advantage for you guys to work on those visual at the same time. Any questions, guys? Okay, if you take a look at the compositions that I've done, right, so actually the deadline, yes, 13. Sorry, okay, because not 16, right, okay, not 6, right, okay, because 6 is week 6 there, right, okay, basically next week. I already changed basically the our brief kind of deadline. Okay, this is my bad, right, okay, because I kind of what we call that miss kind of lead with the dates there, right, okay, on the calendars there, right? It's 12. Okay, Saturday there, right? 12, Saturday, 12 p.m. there, right? 13 there, right? 13, right? 13 on Sunday there, sorry. Okay, the deadline is 13, right? But I actually have produced a few number kind of illustrations before the deadline. So I expect you guys can do more better than that, okay? My kind of time, my kind of way of presenting here, right? Not because of experience, maybe because of the laziness of me as a student there, right? Okay? To find other options for me to survive in the right way, right? But people doesn't see if I'm actually one of the students, right? If I try to use this kind of methods, I would say my lecturers always think directly, oh, this guy actually has done a lot of tremendous kind of works there. Why? Because he showed a lot of detail from there, but he never know that I actually did this kind of works only a short times. That's basically is one of the key point weapon for your clients there. Don't tell your client this area. I'm telling you guys this secret directly, the secret directly. When people look at this one directly, this kind of works, people see there's a lot of hard work that they put their efforts from there. Efforts there, right? But basically it's not that, right? You can see how actually I work, right? But of course, look easy, but it's not that easy for the first time with there. Practice there, right? Explore a bit more on your own world. All right, I'm just providing you guys some options other than conventional kind of styles. Okay, I provide you guys some options there. Even though you want to design, it doesn't actually work only for the animals characters. All right, let's just say that, right, if you want to work with the or maybe I'm going to save for our lecture class. If you want to work with the human characters, yeah, it can be actually used the same methods there. I'm going to save into our lecture class that you have to wait there, right? Okay. So it can be worked because I've seen one of the artists from Instagram. He used basically not similar, but kind of that kind of pattern, texture pattern for for his characters there. I can't remember the names. There's something that we call like ink there, right? Okay. And some the ink there, right? So any question there, guys, so far? Okay, Matthew, okay, hopefully okay. Gilson, yeah, I show you guys one of the alternative way if you really want to develop different kind of approach on your design there, on your works there. Pelican, okay, Pelican. I can't remember. Okay, hopefully there. Okay, I get that kind of this one. No, no. If I find that what we call that particular kind of the artist there, okay, I'm going to give you guys there. Right? I'm going to give you guys there right now. Wait up there, okay. I'm going to try to find them right later on because he's using basically the not similar kind of methods there, okay. This is one of my friend kind of works there. He's also teaching digital and illustrations, but he kind of more productive than me. He's one of my juniors, okay. He's kind of more productive than me there, right? It's kind of love to all this kind of detailing there. This is one of your friend works, okay. Keep it up there, okay, to work with that kind of particular kind of styles there. Mostly goes also, I love the cartoon styles, right? He's also one of my social media kind of friend. He's a full-time street artist. Quite nice there, okay. On this one maybe, right, Marissa love to see these kind of styles there from red sketches there, okay. Small bit more like westernized manga kind of styles there, right, okay. Kind of like I want to show you guys that where is it. Hopefully you can find it here. I want to see who actually I've been followed there, right? one of the bad things, okay, I'm really bad in remembering name there. Paprika is basically Erica Earn, okay. She is our locals kind of independent kind of comic artist that I love to see her works very much there. And one of the guy that actually love to see, okay, one of the different artists that I love to see that, like John Ian Love, though, okay, I think Jeffrey Ian Love, though. I don't know where I can find that, but he's also using a bit kind of Oriental Japanese kind of styles, but using that kind of textures, kind of watercolor textures that can mixed up together. It's quite nice. Okay, I love to see his works there. But when I actually look at this artist kind of works at my stage here, I kind of doesn't want to follow exactly what he did, but I love to explore a little bit kind of like my kind of way of approaching that kind of styles there in my own way there. Okay, so I don't want to people mixed up. Okay, oh, your work is like this and like this, alright. So I think there's a lot of people that follows there nowadays. I cannot find them. If I find them, I'm going to share with you guys there. Okay. Right, I will show you that. But Erica Earn, okay, she basically have done a very loose kind of illustration styles there. I'm not here to promote her, okay, but I love the way that she produced the very loose kind of styles. I get to portray the characters and the visuals, but I think she's using mixed up, okay, traditional line, also Photoshop or some of the other applications there. So this is one of the locals, okay, that I actually quite like to see. Her kind of what we call that loose kind of works there, right? Very nice. Very nice there, right? So, yeah. Try to work on that. All right, guys. So thank you for having me today. All right, hopefully you guys can gain a bit more kind of what we call that understanding from there, improvement from there, and keep up basically on the submissions. Don't delay yourself, and at the same time, don't actually try to be smart if you're not actually good enough in terms of complete your assignments. Please make sure you submit at least more than one. All right, to give you guys more chances in order to increase your marks for this semester's day. And of course, as I told you guys before, if your level of your submissions is not that good, submit more to give you guys more chances to pass. Okay, if you're relying only one submissions and the design also quite a little bit kind of loose from the rubrics that we actually have been set for you guys, okay, I will be afraid that because we already discussed also with our panels there, okay, if basically the student works is not that kind of par, I already show you guys also what are the things that we have to improve there, okay. The slight chances for you to fail is quite big. Okay, so because we have done some demonstration to you guys, we always open up on the consultations, but if you're not actually actively show your progress individually, okay, even though you have submit, you actually cannot assume that we can go through the whole of your works here and try to keep track with you guys there, okay? But you have to basically come to us also, like some of you guys there. If you think that you need more attentions to develop your understanding from here. And this is from one of the lady pay me directly. She tried to draw Raja Basiong in her own style there with some research there. It's a very good kind of progress. I believe that she can do better directly because she actually have the right kind of attention and understanding from here. But she's using, I think this is from Mr. Zinye kind of classes, because I give also Mr. Zinye different kind of freedom for him to search other than the title that I've been given, as long as the title basically still in the local kind of folklore, right? It can be. No problem there, right? But for you guys, don't let that kind of situations hold your kind of creativities there. Creativities can come with different kind of titles there. Simple kind of title that I actually have shown you guys, dog with the shadows, can give a very good higher impact on your marks, on your submissions there, if you know how to doing in the right way. Okay, because there's more room for you to develop your skill from here. Use social media to propose to produce your works. That's the most important thing. I mix them up directly, but I have one of the alternative kind of what we call that account there, okay? Tapi is the node, okay? I try to design my own styles of these characters there, right? Okay, I already registered this one, right? Okay, Tapi rules there, okay, but the Taipei rules basically were taken by the Malaysian Taipei kind of names, right? Okay, so I'm using rules basically to have a bit kind of attitude on my design, right? To my design there, right? So this is my experimental kind of projects that I actually have all quite long there, right? Okay. This is a different kind of conventional kind of style to approach the character design. I'm using AI, I'm using a kind of AI style, but I'm using Adobe Animate or Adobe Flash to animate to design these characters there. Because it's quite, this one Photoshop, this is Photoshop, a simple kind of style. Okay, this one basically I'm using Adobe Animate or Flash there, okay. But it can be used using the logo style, right? Okay, you can use also AI that works, right? Okay, so experiment with your craft to develop your skills. So thank you very much, guys, okay, for having me today, and good luck with your assignment. I'll see you guys on Saturday there, right? Okay, on Saturday there, okay. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome there, right?
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome there.